Good morning, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So this starts our week of 5 ingredients or less. And what I've done is a lot of you have sent recipes, so I am going to do some of those recipes. And some of them will be adapted or whatever, but we'll get some of those special requests in too. So after today, I'm going to hide her again because I'm not a big fan, but I want to make this in there before I do. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're making Crockpot beef tips. So I need to chop an onion. And I'm going to do like Nanny Tam says, and I'm going to use my choppers because of my hand, what's going on right now with it. So yeah, it's just numb and painful. You would think that numb wouldn't mean painful, but it is. So that's why Tom did the mixing and stuff yesterday. But we keep working through it no matter what. That's how it works. Okay, because we still got to eat. All right. Then I'm going to just chop my onions in my chopper. I don't usually like to get my chopper out unless I'm going to do a whole bunch of things at once. I just think it's easier to just chop it all yourself. So it calls for 2 pounds of stew meat, which I bought this a couple weeks ago because it was on sale and I was going to make something else. But I decided, you know what, let me make this instead. It's London broiled top round steak, boneless. And it's only a little over 1.5 pounds. But you know what? We're going to make that work. If we don't have enough for Tom's lunch tomorrow, believe me, he's got plenty of stuff he can take downstairs. We've got frozen, we've got, you know, my canned meats and stuff down there, so he'll have something. He will not be starving. So we're going to cut these into, I would say bite size probably. And I like it because it's thinner, so it shouldn't be, you know, I don't have to cut it a second time and all that good stuff either. Now, on the 5 ingredients or less, none of the spices count, you know, because that's stuff that you would do regardless. It's 5 ingredients. It also doesn't include your side dish, you know what I mean, because people will probably want vegetables or something with their meat. So it doesn't count that. It's just the main meal that is 5 ingredients or less. Good thing I have a towel in my leg, huh? So we're going to put that in there. And I did buy some of those liners you guys suggested. So I've got a package of those. We're going to use that today too. Get these all chopped up. It's so weird because when I use this, I'm not looking at cooking my dinner at 7:30 in the morning or whatever it happens to be. You know what I mean? I think about dinner I cook every day starting around 3 o'clock. Depending on what I'm having, you know. I really don't think about dinner much before that. Well, I kind of do, but not like that. All right. Let's move that off to the side. Now we're going to add that onion in there. Let me wipe off my hands before, you know, because usually I'd stand up and do this, but we don't want people freaking out. All right. So now we're going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup. Let's see how good it does coming out. Oh yeah, baby. I like it when it cooperates. That's nice. And then we're going to do a cup of beef broth. So you know I make my own. So we need a tablespoon of that out into a cup of water. I love these sizes too. It works great for things like the broth and other things like that. I love it. I've gotten addicted to those plastic containers. I really have. Alright, so now we're going to whisk that up. Because I'm sure that the beef will make broth of its own as well. So we're going to pour that on there. I'm not going to stir it all together. I'll check it every couple hours, and when it starts getting cooked and thinned down, then I'll stir it together. And then we're going to use some salt and pepper. Now I'm going to do the cooking low for 6 to 8 hours. If you want it sooner than that, you can cook it on high for 4 to 6 hours. So I'm going to get this put in the crock pot part, and then I want to show you something. I'm going to show you a few every day because it's really cool. Alright, so people talk about going to the secondhand store and looking into cookbooks and stuff, you know. And our secondhand stores here, like Salvation Army, Goodwill, whatever, and they aren't very good deals. So I have a customer called Little Dusty online, and I look through there, and that's how I get a lot of the kids' grandkids' toys. You guys, I paid $7? No, I don't know, very little. And I thought they were little tiny Matchbox cars because my grandkids love those. You guys, it was a huge, huge bag like this filled with trucks and stuff. I'm like, there isn't even, we're going to have to go through that toy box because there's not room. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, and Tom just picked it up this Friday, but there was a whole bunch of cookbooks because they buy up estates. So it's older women and whatever. And I got this entire bag right here for $2.50. So the reason I wanted this one the most is because of this book. And I was hoping it would be full, and it's not. But Impossible Hot Ham. This has somebody's personal written cookbook. And it actually almost looks like my grandma's writing, even though it's not. But there's not a whole lot. There's a whole lot of pages that are not filled. So maybe it's time for me, even though I didn't know who it was, to fill some of those pages back up. And I could pass it on to my grandkids. Alright, and let me show you another one. Oh wow, this book has never been used. My favorite recipes. I mean, it smells really old, but it's never been used. And look at this. The Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. I won't show them all to you because, you know, I'll save some for the rest of the week. But how to, I like this one too. How to canning, freezing, drying. And then an organic harvest book. Wow, look at that. Let's find another one in here. Gotta save some to show you the rest of the week. And this one's an Eagle Tavern cookbook. Oh, wow. I didn't even know this. Can you see that at the bottom? It says Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village, Dearborn, Michigan. I have been there so many times when my kids were little and when I was little. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys. That is awesome. Now I see why you guys want me to do this. Okay. One more. Oh my. Tupperware stacked cooked meals. That one I probably will not keep, but look at that. Tupperware. You know, I used to have a stacker back in the day when I used to sell Tupperware, but I don't have it now. All right, so those are a few, and then I still have this whole entire bag filled with cookbooks. So I know it took up a few minutes, I'm sorry, but I thought maybe you guys would enjoy it. And I think I'll donate that one when we donate a bunch of Jack stuff too, because I'm not going to use that when I don't have a Tupperware stacker. But these other ones, and that one is actually from Greenfield Village. That is really cool. But I thought you guys would enjoy those, and I'll show you more during the week. But I'll be back for dinner and show you what else we're going to make to go along with it. Alright, so the beef tips are done. But Tom won't be home for about an hour yet, so I'm going to get side dishes ready. So I wanted to show you something. Today, I had some errands I had to run and go to the chiropractor. My hand's still numb. He twisted my elbow. He thinks it's something in my elbow that's pulled. And if he can't fix it after a couple of times, he wants me to see a specialist. I told him, well, that won't happen. I can't afford it. So everybody, if they can give me a prayer that him working on that will take that away, will be great. They had Brussels sprouts on sale for 99 cents a pound. Well, every time I go out there, I always check their discount bin. That's where I got the big bag of potatoes and, you know, stuff like that. Let me show you what I got today. I got all of these red peppers for guess how much? $3. Wait, $3.99. How is that for a deal? So actually I'm going to use some of them tomorrow for what I'm making for dinner, and I will chop up the rest of them in my chopper, Nanny Tam, in my chopper, and I will get those froze up. I mean, and I just ordered 3 peppers of different colors, and it cost me $3 for 3. So I got a good deal. Sometimes, you know, you go out there and the stuff will be like, no, I'm not taking that home. There's no way I can save it. But sometimes, I mean, they're not firm, but they need to be used up. All right. So with my Brussels sprouts, what I'm going to do is just chop off the ends a little bit and then let them peel a little bit, and then I'm just going to cut them in half like that. Tom is not a Brussels sprout fan by any means, but if I cook them in butter or I do a lot of cheese and smash them, he'll eat them. But other than that, he's not a fan. And I love Brussels sprouts. I'll eat them no matter how you do it. I was just talking to Renee today, and she's like, 99 cents a pound? They're like $2.50 a pound up here. And I said, I know. And actually, they didn't have very many today when I went there. So, must be people have picked them over pretty good. And they haven't gotten new ones in yet. So, I'm just going to throw those in my frying pan. They are washed and everything, so I washed them all off. And then I'm just going to do all these up. And then I'll come back and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make them. The other thing I'm going to make is mashed potatoes, and not from a bag. Someone said I need to start making mashed potatoes not in a bag. It doesn't take much longer. Actually, it does, but once in a while, you know, like especially today, I would like to have real mashed potatoes. The only difference is I'm going to show you mashing them with the peelings on, because the potatoes I bought last week are all really small like this. I'm not going to peel every one of those potatoes. And I asked Tom, would you rather have mashed potatoes or just cooked potatoes? And he goes, whatever you want to make. And I said, be decisive. He said he'd rather have mashed. So I will show you how to mash them with the peelings on, and they're amazing. Alright, so now my Brussels sprouts, I have butter melting. And as it's getting melted, I want to coat those Brussels sprouts with all that butter. And then I'm going to, and this is something you don't have to do, but I'm going to add a little bit to it. Well, you know my little bit is like that. You want to put some garlic. Because I'm using salted butter, I'm not going to add any salt to it. But I am going to add some pepper. And if there's other things you want to season it with, you know what? Your kitchen, your rules, you do you. But you want to get that all mixed in there. I'm going to turn it on to just below a medium heat. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Just a little bit, you don't need a whole lot. And let that get mixed in with that butter. Like I say, this is the only way he'll eat it. And unless you bake it and smash them and put cheese on them, I'll eat them anyway. And then you want to put your lid on there and let that cook for 5 minutes. You can stir in between, but you're going to want to let it steam inside so that it'll finish up your Brussels sprouts. In the meantime, I have my potatoes over there cooking. So just maybe we'll have a great dinner. Alright, so the Brussels sprouts are done. And I'm not going to lie, I've ate a couple. And the potatoes are done. And these have all their skin still on them. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to add a whole lot at first, just a little bit of milk. And we're going to use our immersion blender. I never thought you could make mashed potatoes like this, but you can. See, look at that. Alright, let me get them mixed up real good so you don't have to hear that noise. Alright, so let's get this beautiful dinner plated up, plus let's do Tom's dinner, Tom's lunch. We're going to put some of those mashed potatoes in his lunch. I'm going to take some mashed potatoes. And then we'll give Tom more. I could have probably cooked a few more potatoes, because Tom likes a lot. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Alright. So now, let's stir that up. And let's get us a scoop here. Look at that. Ooh, might be nice if I brought it down there, huh? Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? And then we'll put some more in his lunch. Oh my. Take a little bit more sauce over here on mine. A little bit more in his work one. Oh yeah. He'll probably end up eating part of mine too. It's usually what happens. I make up my plate and then he usually eats half of it too. So alrighty. Now let's get those beautiful Brussels sprouts put on that plate. Yeah, they're gonna get in some gravy over here. That's okay. He'll probably do it anyway. I won't put any in his lunch. Alrighty. Let me put these over there. They fell off. So there's dinner. All 5 ingredients or less. So he should be here shortly. And we'll get a taste test from Tom and see what he thinks. Well, hi, Tom.
Hello.
Look at you. You got mashed potatoes and beef tips and Brussels sprouts. Try your Brussels sprouts first. I will shove them in your mouth for you.
Oh, ain't horrible bad.
Horribly bad. It isn't horribly bad. Are they taste good?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. You ain't got no meat on that
You
one.
know me and Brussels sprouts.
I know.
That's why you're grinning from ear to ear, ain't you?
No. What do you think about the beef tips?
Put some beef tips and gravy and stuff. So wash out the taste.
They taste really good, though.
They're fine. I'm just messing with you.
So what do you think about the beef
You
tips?
know why? Because I can.
Yeah, because you can.
Mm-hmm.
Till after we get off there and I'll just beat you. Oh, yeah. People might believe that, so I better not say that.
Don't
never.
kick me like that. I'm not nice. But...
You're going to get people to really believe that. Stop that. There's no abuse in this house from either of us.
Nope.
We don't even argue, do we?
Nope.
We get along usually most all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we don't, it's your fault.
Oh, really?
It is usually, isn't it?
Most of the time, yeah.
Just checking. All right, you guys, we're gonna let this.
Every now and then it comes off the other way.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. You're willingly digging into the Brussels sprouts. Look at that.
2 of them
Wow.
at the same time.
Wow.
You know why? Because I want to get rid of them.
Shut up.
The quicker I eat them, the quicker they go away.
Oh.
See?
You're worse than little kids. Well, except for AJ. He's even more fussy. You stop that. See what I have to live with, you guys. All right, you guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing. And goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
Have a good night, guys.